Yo, Sag. How's it going, guys? Nice to see you. It's been a while, and I'm sorry these are late, but I'm very excited to talk to you guys. I'm Chris. Welcome to your January 2018 reading. All right, so I haven't looked at it yet, but this card popped out while I was pre-shuffling. So, well, let's look at it together, shall we? Okay. The Hierophant. Interesting card. This is not like a seriousness that you typically associate with Sagittarius with the Hierophant, right? Sagittarius is known for being a very playful, adventurous kind of sign, right? And that's what I was expecting to see coming up here, because in January we have a lot. At the end of the month, we have Mars moving into your sign. So that's going to give Sagittarius like the superpower drive to plow through the rest of the year. But actually, and it's going to stay there till March. But what actually is dawning on me now is that this kind of makes perfect sense, because for most of the month, we actually have the Sun, Pluto, and Venus in your house of long-term goals. And what this month is really going to be asking from you guys astrologically is to... Sorry, I got distracted by a message that came up. What this month is asking you astrologically is to like know your worth, right? Because in order to like get this status of the Hierophant represents status. He represents like the leader of a group. He kind of represents the patriarchy. No, but like he's the counterpart of the High Priestess, right? So it's like tradition and social structure, right? Knowledge. Sagittarius is so good with like philosophies and big thoughts. So it actually looks like, guys, we're gonna have to look at for you guys is like the slow and steady progress you need to be making over the year to come. Now is the time to really get situated in your plans, right? But what I was saying before about knowing your worth, you know, the Hierophant is thought of as the representative of God's will on earth, right? And that's what how a priest functions, right? They are kind of the representative of God, of their God, whatever God that may be. So Sagittarius needs to really see themselves as worthy of carrying that kind of banner, right? Not literally of God, but like of manifesting your highest will, of manifesting your highest self's will for yourself, right? Wanting what's best for you. You know, this is reminding me, I'm reading The Alchemist right now. Really good book. I recommend it if you haven't read it. And I just kind of started it, but they're talking a lot about personal legends and how the universe kind of wants everybody. Six of Cups. The universe kind of wants everybody to live their personal legend. What does that mean? It's basically like a way of thinking of your fate, of your story, of like the life you want to create for yourself. So that's what I'm thinking about with this Hierophant popping up here. Is Sagittarius really getting in touch with like their fate? They're like what they really dream to be, like what is their purpose? And here right up we have the Six of Cups. So it makes kind of sense. I kind of starting to look at these first cards that pop out as the past situation. It kind of makes sense that, you know, what I was saying in the beginning, how Sagittarius is such like a playful sign. Right? Six of Cups to me is just like happiness and like celebration and this is like you guys giving your energy out into the world in a positive way, in a playful way, in a fun way, in a way that brings people happiness. But now it does feel like there's a bit of a need to get serious, right? Which makes sense with all this energy we have in Capricorn also. Right? About really structuring our life, about really like growing Personal development, right, is Capricorn. So my sense so far, right, Eight of Pentacles, right? The work that you enjoy. So this is probably taking a look at your career a little bit, you know. I have a Sagittarius friend I was just hanging out with yesterday, and I asked her at one point, I was like, are you happy with your job? And she's like, yeah, I like it. But like there was just a sense that like there was a lack of satisfaction there. She was so stressed out, so angry all the time. Not all the time, but like about her job. It kept getting her into that place. So when we talk about personal legends, right? This is exactly what that is. This is like the will of your highest self, right? Like the idea of like what you're meant to do in a way. What your spirit is meant to do on this earth, if that's the way you think about things, right? Following your bliss, right? That's what this is all about. That's how you manifest your personal journey, right? That's what the personal journey is. Manifesting your bliss. The things that you're passionate about, the things that you're happy about, the things that give you like joy and pleasure, bringing out into the world in only a way that you can bring it, with your Sag flair, right? So Sagittarius, for this month, then, like, I want you to start thinking about, you know, what your personal legend is, right? And what that's going to look like for the year to come. What steps you're going to be making towards making that happen. What is the thing that drives you? What is the thing that you would do if you could do anything? You know, and it's funny that I was talking about my friend's attitude towards her job, because in the book, again, there's a sense of like, he says that he can tell when somebody's close to their personal legend or not. And it's just exactly in this way. Is somebody like living their bliss? Or are they like working a job because like they have to pay bills, which is normal? But what else? What else? What is your legacy going to be? Right? Like, what is your place in like the story of the world and humanity? What is that going to be, Sag? You have the Ace of Wands, right? This is exactly to me that Mars in your sign energy that I said is coming later in the month. Drive and ambition and like just this energy of going forward. It may even mean moves. I don't see the Chariot here, but like that energy, the Mars and Sag energy with this focus on long-term planning. It could be about like, you could literally go on adventures. You could be taken to other places, right? But I want to relate this back to career, not just career, but your passions. It's time to start like living out your creativity. I think you guys are a very creative sign. It's not the first thing you think about with Sag, but if you know a Sag, you see it in them, right? Especially like I noticed with like fashion and style. Right? Just every Sag is very expressive of themselves, of who they are, like by the way they dress, you know? That's just one example to me of what I see in the Sagittarius as I know. So what this all is saying is that you guys are on the right track, right? This is all showing like a steady progression from where we start here towards like, you know, happiness and fun in the beginning of the month and in the past. And then we're working towards what is going to make us satisfied. And then we're moving towards this. We're getting that fire, we're getting that spark in Sag this month. The Saturn and Capricorn energy for me has been super like productive. So helpful. Like, I was afraid because I was so ungrounded that, like, it was just going to mess up my life. But it's really motivated me to make a lot of changes, and I've been doing them. It's not like New Year's resolution. Like, I've been, you know, my health is on a new level. My career pursuits are on a new level. It just started happening. Wheel of Fortune to close it out, right? So I think you're going to start getting a taste of success. If you guys actually go this route and start pursuing like the things that are making you happy, I think you're going to feel it. It's going to be tangible. It's going to be noticeable. You're going to experience successes. They're going to validate your path, that you're doing the right thing. This is about, as much as the Wheel of Fortune is a card of fate, this combination is really about somebody like taking a hold of their fate, of taking control of like their destiny and what they're going to be living out, taking control of their journey, taking responsibility for, you know, the things that they have to do in this life. So Sag, I mean, I have the sense like you guys, you know, can kind of feel what I'm talking about here. Hermit, okay? It's funny, I was just having a conversation with my sister about how many Hermit cards are coming up in readings this month. So let's get like obvious things out of the way, right? There's a lot of earth here. If you're dealing with an earth sign, this would be like Taurus or Virgo. Things could be changing, right? And this doesn't just feel like a relationship to me, but like maybe you have a boss who's an earth sign, right? Either way, it's like energy of transformation. It's energy of growth and forward movement. So Hermit is one path, right? This again is that idea to me of getting serious. This is Sagittarius kind of withdrawing from the world in a productive way. I always say the Hermit is, you know, someone who goes out and gets knowledge and then brings it back to people. Like that's implied with the Hermit. It's such a focus on solitude with the Hermit and like being alone most of the time, that like you kind of forget that this is a person on a spiritual journey. He's a leader. He comes back a leader. That's what this that's what the candle, or in a lot of decks, the lamp. On the other path we have Judgment. So a new start, a new beginning. This is Sagittarius kind of still dawdling. This is Sagittarius still like going through the motions, I want to say. This is Sagittarius listening to that fire in their belly, answering that call to start over, to have a new life, right? Not just a new life, but a new sense of self, a new sense of like what your role is and what you're like meant to do. I'm using a lot of fateful words here. I'm not so all about, you know, predestiny or, you know, anything like that. But when I talk about fate, I mean about the will. It's that sense in yourself of what you're meant to be driving towards. And people say that that's like the gift that you're given in this life, right? Like when you are feeling passionate about something, when you're feeling drawn towards something, that's like a sign from the cosmos of what you should be doing. Judgment is answering that call. Judgment is rising to the challenge and saying, yeah, it might be scary. I might have to make big changes. I might have to move. I might have to, like, you know, make some real adjustments in my life. But, I mean, with the Wheel of Fortune here and the Hierophant, and the Judgment itself is just such a positive card, especially laid out here, of like things going well, things going in a way that they're supposed to be. Like I keep talking about fate, so I think that there might be some experiences you have this month that kind of feel like coincidence, like happy coincidences, things going well for you and people in your life. again, my Sagittarius friend, like her husband just got a job and she's talking about, she was gushing about it. And I don't want, and like just how it happened like so randomly that he ended up in this like amazing high-end fashion company. I don't want to call anybody out, but let's just say he's in Italy right now working with her. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords, which is interesting because as your last outcome card here, you have the Queen of Swords, right? The Sun, beautiful, and the Princess of Wands. So underlying it all, guys, I feel like Sagittarius might be a little frustrated. That's what the King of Swords is saying to me right now. The King of Swords is kind of like one of the angrier kings to me. You know, he kind of is a little vicious and lashes out, right? But I'm not saying that you guys are doing that. I'm saying that it almost feels like there's a frustration building in you. A stress. Like an anger. Like what I was, again, just talking about with my friend, where she's like stressed and angry about her job. But the great thing about that, guys, is that this is what actually creates change. When you've had enough. When you, like I said in the beginning, when you start to know your worth and say, no, I can do so much better than that. This is not who I'm meant to be. This is not the life I'm meant to live. This is not the partnership I'm meant to have. And when you're that fucking angry, right? Look at these two cards together. The Ace of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. It's almost as if the Ace of Wands kind of sets the wheel in motion. That this anger and frustration just like gets things going. I mean, this is two things. One, I'm gonna say like happy times ahead, Sag. You know, like I feel comfortable for you guys. I feel like security for you guys, like emotionally. I feel like just everything going well with the Sun. But what I also want to say here is like the Sun illuminates things, right? And to me, this is kind of like for you guys an understanding or knowing of like what you're meant to do. Light being shed on your path. And then we have the Princess of Wands. Like, we have all that wand energy, and then it kicks us off into the Princess of Wands. To me, the Princess of Wands is the first logical step after the Ace of Wands. Right? Having this energy all available to you, and now she's the one who's learning how to use it and how to put it into motion. A little like, you know, baby deer can't quite, like, walking on wobbly legs. But almost like she doesn't give a fuck. Because she knows that, like, her legs are going to become stronger, and then, like, one day she's just going to be the fucking queen. So then, this last outcome card, we have the Queen of Swords. Really using your mind, using your intellect. I also want to say, like, there could be an important, like, mother figure who kind of has advice for you, especially if you have somebody in your life who's just, like, very intelligent and smart and witty, right? But also, I like to think, like, when we do these readings, we're kind of talking about you here and your energy. So, with the Queen of Swords showing her face, you're going to make the necessary choices that you need to make. You're going to make the necessary moves. You're going to be driven by, like, your intellect. You're going to be driven by a sort of sense of knowing what you're supposed to be doing. And I don't mean in a fateful way anymore. I mean knowing as in, like, what your next step is. When I started talking about planning, right? This is like Sagittarius checking shit off a to-do list. This is just like success after success, like obstacle overridden. I can't think of words right now. Overcome. That's what I meant. Obstacles overcome. right? Really cutting away the fog in your mind, right? With these two cards together, this is clarity. This is knowing. This is like a sharp, clear mind. Someone who knows what they want and knows how to get it. Get it, Sag. Get it. All right, so I'm going to just show you what we have here real quick. Nine of Cups. Okay, right underneath Nine of Cups, dreams and fulfilled. Like, this is you having everything you need to be satisfied, to be happy. All this like work stuff we're talking about, it's kind of fueled by dreams, by what you imagine you want. By, again, like an intuitive knowing. I'm going to show you what we have here real quick before we get to the Nature Nurture Oracle. Okay, so a lot of like movement with these two cards here, this fiery energy. Working. Do you see like all this sense of like fate and like what's meant to be? This cards of knowing and being clear. And again, another card of fate here with the Wheel of Fortune. It's okay to be angry as long as you turn it into something productive. Yeah? All right, so let's pull a couple Nature Nurture Oracles. And we'll get you guys going. So in the description, I still have personal readings available. They are on sale through the end of January for 40% off. Get a couple of those. I'm starting to get all booked up if you're interested. Check that out on the links below. I also have Instagram below. Follow me there. And please like, comment, and subscribe. I love the comments. Even the crazy ones. There's been some crazy ones, but like it's fun. Right? I want this to be a community for us. I want the House of Light and Shadow to be something eventually bigger than just readings. The readings are going to be, you know, the heart of it, but I want to create a community here. So, and I also promise next month your readings will be out on time, early. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So we start off with gratitude. This is that sense of worth, right? So Sagittarius, it's not just important to think about where you're going, but like recognize where you've come from. Count your successes, count your blessings. Right? That's super important for the sense of like knowing your worth. That's super important for being able to be like stable before you start moving forward. To know who you are, to know where you came from, and to give thanks. By giving thanks for it, it's not just like some new age mumbo jumbo. It's like you're acknowledging it. You're acknowledging its value to you. All these things that you have going for you. What did we say about change? The butterfly, evolving. Sag, this is like you're moving on to the next chapter of your life. Like what's been happening for you has gotten you to where you need to be right now, but ultimately it's about the next step for you. I like that. And then we have the Raven and magic, right? Really getting in your power. Really like, I want you to think a little magically even this month, Sag. I want you to believe very intensely in the power of attraction, the law of attraction. I want you to believe very intensely in the ability for you to manifest the things you desire, to manifest your will, to imagine something and make it real. That's what the Ace of Wands is to me, right? Wands are tools of magicians that channel energy. They take energy from like an abstract realm or like a psychic astral way, and then they put them down into reality. The Ace of Wands, I think, is one of the most important cards in this spread. So really believe in your ability to create. Really believe in like We're getting such like, this is very spiritual reading for Sagittarius. Right? Believe in your power, believe in intention. Setting intentions, even if you can't deal with the other stuff, intention should be easy, right? What are your intentions? Get clear on those. And then you got everything it takes to be badass bitch. Boss ass bitch like Nicki Minaj, she's a Sag. You know, you guys know that song? I'm a boss ass bitch. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, Sag, thanks for holding out. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed reading for you. You guys have the most bubbly, amazing energy ever. Just remember to keep your head clear. Think about your journey. What is your story? Like that personal legend stuff. And go read The Alchemist. Amazing book. What is your journey? What is your story gonna be? Make that shit up. Fake it till you make it. All about that. But only if you're like working to make it. If you're just like faking it and you're not like trying to make it, like, then you're just a fraud. And Sag is not fraud. You guys are so real. You can never be frauds, right? All right, guys. I love you. Te amo. I'll see you in a few weeks for February. Bye-bye.